Morning, everybody. This is the day that the Lord has made, that we'll be rejoicing in it and be glad. What another day! What another day! This is your presenter, your moderator, Reverend Stephen Ibabu. I'm the chaplain here at FBTS, Theological Seminary, housed by Trinity Baptist Church here in Lakewood. Uh, in Lakewood, Washington. And by the way, you can just see our address at the bottom of your screen. What a day. Welcome once again. And this is Stephanie Babu. Today we are very privileged. We're very privileged to have with us the Chancellor of Fulbright Theological Seminary, Pastor Fauché, and he is here with us. And being this chancellor of the school, he has a lot that he can be able to talk to us about, our viewers and our listeners. But before that, I will just ask him to introduce himself to the viewers. Please, Pastor Fauché.
Thank you. You're too kind. I'm Pastor Jeffrey Fauché of Trinity Baptist Church in Lakewood, Washington. I'm also the Chancellor of Fulbright Theological Seminary, which is a ministry of Trinity Baptist Church. And I'm excited to be able to share a little bit with you today.
Thank you so much, Pastor. And it is a privilege. Not always we have you. We know you're a busy person serving the nation and even the church right here in Lakewood. Today, we would love to hear from you. We heard previously from our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Francis Gideku, and today we have you. What would you tell our viewers and our listeners? Where did we and how did we have Fulbright Theological Seminary here, and what do we offer here?
Okay, thank you. Fulbright Theological Seminary originally was the vision of Dr. Gethuku, and he brought the vision to me as the pastor of our church, and we agreed to partner in working together to have a school operate. And we've been given authorization by the Washington Student Achievement Council to offer degrees at the associate's, bachelor's, master's, and doctorate level. They all have the title in theology and biblical counseling. It's religious education, and we seek to prepare people for the workforce, but mostly for religious work. We also offer a couple of different certificates, including a certificate in discipleship through a partnership with a Global Discipleship Initiative. And we have some sister schools in other countries, especially in Kenya, that are also offering degrees with a school with the same name, but separately operating in those countries under their laws.
Oh, thank you. I just want you to repeat again to the viewers and to our listeners. You said that Fulbright Theological Seminary has been given a go-ahead to offer this, you say, from certificate to doctorate. Which is this body of Washington is that again?
So the state of Washington regulates degrees, but we've been offered an exemption from the regulation because we're a religious institution. We do not have authorization to offer a degree called a PhD, which some of our previous social media videos may have referred to. That was in error. Sometimes people use the terms PhD and doctorate interchangeably, but the degree that we offer here is a doctorate.
Thank you so much. That means the doctorate degree that is offered here is legit.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And viewers, here we are being told exactly how it is and what is offered here at Fulbright Theological Seminary. So Fulbright Theological Seminary offered a doctorate in biblical counseling. So you're welcome, and I don't think there is anywhere better place like here. So what do you have to tell our viewers as your last word?
Well, I'm just excited for people who have God's calling in their life to work with them and help prepare them for whatever ministry He calls them to. We do all of our instruction in English, so anyone of any background is welcome. And we seek to glorify the Lord, and everything that we do is Christ-centered. But we offer practical education in preaching and teaching and counseling and all of the things that someone might do as they seek to minister to others in the name of Jesus.
Amen. The word is practical education. Don't forget, usually the worst words are very important. Practical education. So, if you look at the bottom of your screen, you will see the address to the school, and you can reach out to our chancellor, Geoffrey Fauché, and you can see the email right there. You can reach out to the vice chancellor, Francis Kiduku. You can reach out to the dean of faculty, and her name is Eunice Waidaka. Please don't hesitate. Talk to us, and we will be able to respond to your question. And please, I will take a few minutes for a break, and I will come back to you in a second. Thank you. Be right there. I'll be right back.
You are watching Pacific Waves Television USA, a place of nourishment.
Pacific Waves.
Thank you once again for taking that break. And we are back once again. This is Stephen Ibabu, the chaplain of FBTS, Fulbright Theological Seminary, once again coming to you live from Trinity Baptist Church here, where it's housing Fulbright Theological Seminary. We are very, very happy to have you once again to be with us in our episode of Consultative Forum, episode number 6. Consultative Forum, episode number 7, coming to you in your homes, in the comfort of your living rooms. What a day. Welcome once again. Today, we are very privileged. I want to tell you that we are very privileged. Today, we are touching a very, very sensitive topic. And today, we have our faculty member, Dr. Peter Ndungu, who is a bishop. And we very much welcome you, brother. Thank you so much, and welcome for coming.
Thank you.
And also today we have two wonderful, wonderful students who are scholars right here in Fulbright Theological Seminary. We have wonderful man of God. His name is John Githinji. And we have a woman of God. Her name is Nyaga. Susan Nyaga. Mm-hmm. What a day to have these wonderful people to be with us. I will first ask Bwana John, just take a few minutes, introduce yourself to our viewers and to our listeners.
I should start by saying thank you to you, moderator Steve. Then I turn to you, viewers, and I say hello to you, all of you. You are very much welcome to this program, whereby we are going to talk a bit about a very, very serious theme on substance abuse. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Ms. Nyaga.
Well, thank you, our moderator. My name is Susan Nyaga. I'm privileged to be part of this forum and part of this team and part of this school. I want to say that I'm glad for God giving us this chance, even to be part of this forum this morning, that we're going to have So I'm sharing with our professor and our moderator and the team around. So I'm talking to the viewers now. I want to welcome you to this forum too, and feel much privileged too to hear what we are going to share. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our scholars, for joining us today. And here we are. The privilege is to have Dr. Ndungu. Please introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Dr. Peter Ndungu. I'm Minister of the Gospel, Bishop of the Church, and also I'm a professor in this school. And I welcome you to this program, which will be touching a very sensitive issues, which is important to all of us. Welcome.
Thank you. Once again, our viewers, don't forget, if you have any question, we will be requesting you to look at the bottom of your screen, and you will find the name of the school, FBTS, and you will get our email. You can reach out to our Chancellor, Dr. Geoffrey Fauché. You can reach out to a Vice Chancellor, Dr. Francis Kiduku. You can reach to our Dean, who is Dr. Eunice Waidaka. Please don't hesitate. And today, because we have wonderful things we want to hear, our scholars have come up with questions pertaining to substance abuse. And today we want to start with John. You had a question which was very serious. What was this question that you wanted to ask?
Yes, before I ask the question, I would like to thank my professor, who is Peter Ndungu, for the far he has taken me and our class our class in general. Now, we have taught us very, very clearly and very widely about drug abuse, how effective or how defective it has been to the community. And in fact, I would like to explain to the viewers as to how serious is the issue of drug abuse and addiction.
Thank you so much for your question. It is a question that so many people ask, and sometimes we underrate the seriousness of drug abuse. But I want to say that it's a very, very serious issue. That is a concern for all of us. And to make it clear to us how serious it is, if you visit the website of United Nations Office of Drug and Crime, the recent report says that the global challenges we are having today, number one is drug abuse, number two is crime, number three is corruption, and number four is terrorism. So if you go to the classification of the problem of the world today, you find drug abuse and addiction is at the top of the list of the challenges of the global world or the global population. Right bottom there, I want to say that we have 64 million people living with drug abuse disorders, and that's not a small number. We have 292 million users of illegal drugs. Among those 292 million users of illegal drugs, 1 in 11 is in a treatment program. 13.9 of them inject drugs. And out of that 13.9 who inject drugs, 68 of them live with the disease of hypertension, 1.6 have HIV, 1.4 have HIV and hepatitis combined. So that's how serious the drug addiction and abuse is, and it affects all of us.
Thank you so much, Pastor Bishop, for that very extensive answer to that question. How serious is the issue of drug abuse and addiction? Sister Susan, you had a question. What was the question for Pastor?
Well, thank you so much, moderator. So, Professor Domo, We have been dealing so much with drug abuse and substance in class, and we have been talking much about it widely. So please, can you please explain to us why is it important to educate public on drug abuse and substance?
Thank you, Susan. It is very important to educate the masses, including parents, because educating the masses empowers families to better understand addiction. They offer compassionate support after they are empowered, and they foster a positive recovery environment, ultimately improving outcomes of both individuals struggling with addiction and the family as a whole. It increases understanding of addiction when we educate the masses, and especially all the students who will be graduating from this college with this kind of education and empowerment. Once they learn about addiction, they develop better communication skills and establish healthy boundaries, which are crucial in healthy recovery strategies. It reduces enumbering behaviors. Educating families help identify and avoid enumbering behaviors which can advantageously prolong addiction. Also, families learn about resources of self-care and how to prevent burnout, which is essential for maintaining the well-being and supporting the loved ones who are struggling and who are in recovery. Education helps families to understand the challenges and timelines of recovery, reducing frustrations and resentments. By working together to understand the address of addiction and drug abuse, families can strengthen their bonds and build a stronger foundation for recovery. Once they have the understanding and the knowledge, family involvement and support can be powerful motivator to individuals struggling with addiction and seek to maintain recovery. Family education programs can help families feel less isolated and ashamed and provide a sense of community and support. And studies show that individuals with substance use disorders have better outcomes when their families are involved in the treatment. So when they have the knowledge, they don't shy away. They involve themselves in the treatment and recovery of the individual who is affected.
Thank you. Our viewers and our listeners, if you can listen to what our professor is actually answering the same questions, and it is really the drug and substance abuse, it's a menace in our community. Just if you have your pen and a paper, please make sure you note down these notes because they're very important and you can help somebody whom you know. Please take a note. Bonagdenji, you had a question. What was that?
Yes, this one, Professor Dongo, what drove you to have the passion and the issue of drug abuse education, sensitization, and campaigns?
I'm driven by the experiences that I have in this menace of drug addiction and abuse. After graduating from school, I lost a few friends through drug abuse and addiction. And I made a commitment that if I get a chance, I will see how I can be a help to the community and to the church, because I realized many people shy and they don't involve themselves, especially those of us who are in the clergy and those in church leadership don't want to involve themselves in issues of drug. But I decided to do a different thing. So the desire of my heart, God saw the desire of my heart, and I got a scholarship to go to England for higher education. And just like in this college where we are today, the course I was doing, drug abuse and addiction was part of the syllabus. And in the class, we were being taught by professors from different colleges in England and some organizations that were dealing with drug abuse. And one NGO which was visiting our university It's a popular one. It's called Hope UK. It works with drug abuse and addiction and families in the city of London. And they say anybody who would want to join them as a volunteer, you pay a cost for that person or those people to go to the University of Derby to do a course in drug education and be certified as an educator and counselor in rehabilitation. So I joined them and started working at the university, and I went to the streets with them, and they sponsored me for a course at the University of Derby, where I was licensed and certified as a drug educator and working in rehabilitations. Eventually, working the city of London, in the streets, in rehabilitation programs, education, and sensitizing people about drug abuse. I appeared in a magazine, and just like we are being interviewed today, the moderator of the magazine asked me, what do you want to do with this education? And I said, I want to go back to my country and help people who are struggling in this area. And so when I went back to Kenya, I did the dissertation that I did, the paper that I submitted in my graduation, I then turned it into a book. And I went with that book to Kenya, and I went to the Ministry of Education, where I applied to go to schools for educating the students and teachers, and I was given the mandate by the Ministry of Education. Later I joined in Nakada, and the experiences that I got from the destruction of drug abuse and addiction to the people back in Nairobi and other environments and the cities of Kenya made me to develop a zeal and a passion to do this, and that is why I'm here. Teaching this class is my passion, and I have a zeal for it, and I will continue doing this, and I want to be part of the solution to the global community in this area they're struggling in.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that extensive. And remember, our viewers and listeners, that the intake is still going on here at FBTS. Please don't hesitate. Use the information at the bottom of your screen to reach out to FBTS if you are interested to join the college. Thank you so much. Sister Susan, what was that question?
Yes, thank you so much, moderator. So, Professor Dung, I have one more question for you.
Yes.
So, when we look at our communities, and even here in America, we find there is a lot of substance abuse. So, maybe I would like you to explain to us what might be the reasons why there is more or there's increasing trends in drug abuse and addiction.
There are several reasons that are making or increasing the trend of drug abuse and addiction in our communities and the society and the global population at large. And one of those is peer pressure, physical and sexual abuse, early exposure to drugs. In those days, teens and youths were not exposed to drug abuse at an early age. Some of the things that are also fueling the increase in trends of drug addiction is that the groups that sell and market drugs, they are taking advantage of the instability and the challenges in the global community today. So the challenges that the global community is facing is an open door for markets of drugs all over the world. And also the accessibility. It's very easy to get those drugs today. If you come here to the city of Seattle or Washington, they are available in shops, just like buying something which is very simple, like milk. So those are some of the reasons that I have increased the threats of drug abuse and addiction in the communities today. Accessibility, the challenges, the instability of the government because of various issues, lack of goodwill, all those are the issues fueling the threats of addiction in our society today.
Thank you. Thank you, Bishop, for that question. I have a question for you to hear. The question is, in your opinion, what are the most effective treatment modalities for substance and disorders currently available?
Yeah, there are several of them, and I want to mention just a few because of time. Hospital-based detoxification program is a good one and very effective because it helps people. It can be an in-service or an outpatient program. Unfortunately, though it is very effective, we have challenges because men do not want to check themselves in those programs. And even when they check themselves in, finally they don't do follow-ups. But hospital-based detoxification program is one of the best treatment modalities in our settings. There is also group therapy, individual therapy, family therapy settings. The only thing is that in all these groups, some are better than others because like individual group therapy, it is better than group therapy because most of the times when it is individual, the treatment is tailored to that individual. But the challenges that we are facing, although they are there and very effective, most of the people who are in these problems don't check themselves in, especially men. And even when they check themselves in, the problem of follow-up is a challenge, and so there is always a relapse. And those are the challenges that we are facing.
Thank you. Appreciate that for that very intensive questions with very intensive answers that we truly want the viewers and the listeners to hear so that they can understand exactly where we're coming from. Bonagdenji.
Well, thank you again, Moderator Stephen. Now, Professor Domo, now we have been talking about drug abuse. Would you mind to tell the viewers what we mean by the term drug abuse?
Drug abuse, viewers and listeners and those watching, is simply the misuse of drugs, using drugs the wrong way. It might be illegal drugs, it might be subscription drugs, those prescribed by a doctor. If they are used the wrong way, that is what we are calling drug abuse. When you take it at a level that is not prescribed by a doctor, when it is taken and then it has negative effects to the user, that is what we are calling drug abuse. And one of the challenges of abusing drugs is that you don't know exactly what you are taking. There is something that we call drug adulteration because of markets and places, people will mix several substances and call them drugs. So when people are taking illegal drugs, they don't know exactly what they are taking because those people who are there in the market selling drugs, they just want profits. So they mix so many kind of substances and chemicals and sell them to people, and that is why we are having so many challenges, including mental health, coming from addiction and drug abuse.
Thank you so much. We have one last question from Sister Susan.
Yes, thank you so much, moderator. So, my Professor Dono, in the course of learning, once we were trying to expound things to do with drug abuse, we came across what you called harm reduction. So my question is, would you please tell our viewers what are some of harm reduction we can talk about to support the individuals who abuse the drug and who are addicted to drug, bearing in mind that there is much exposure to sexually transmitted diseases, sexually transmitted infections, UTI, and also HIV and AIDS, please.
Thank you, Susan. That's a good question because the families that are affected by drug abuse and addiction maybe would want to know what is harm reduction strategies. The vice of drug abuse and addiction, or the impact of drug abuse and addiction, affects, in the book that I have written, which we use here and we are doing a book review, I have said drug abuse is a problem to everybody, including those who doesn't use it, because when money is being taken from family to take members of the family for treatment and rehabilitation, that money could have been used to do something else. When the government is using a lot of money in fighting drug abuse and addiction, and in these programs like our moderator have asked, if we come up with harm reduction strategies, it can minimize the impact in so many ways. Research shows that every dollar well used in prevention, treatment, and access to services saves the country and individuals $7. So if we do a proper harm reduction strategy, as parents, as families, as institutions, they can be of benefit to us all. So harm reduction, we are talking about the strategies that we can come with, because these people are in our families, these people are in our churches, these people are in the community. So harm reduction strategies are strategies that you decrease or take away the harm that and the impact that the society and the families are being left feeling because of drug abuse. Harm reduction strategies, like you asked a question earlier about educating the masses, especially families that are affected by the menace of drug abuse and addiction. If they are educated and you have the information and the knowledge about drug addiction, then they will be able to help those suffering. And those who have no idea about drug abuse, they think that it is lack of discipline, character flaw, and those kind of things. But once they understand, they can take harm reduction strategies instead of punishing the people who are affected, especially our young people. Then they will come and do recovery strategies or other measures that can be taken to reduce the harm. So it's very important to educate the masses on how to do harm reduction strategies so that we can nip the bud of the damage that is being done by drug addiction. So harm reduction is strategies that can be used, like educating the masses, understanding the sufferings, how to stop those sufferings, how to help those sufferings. Those are harm reduction strategies, which work. It's just like treatment. It is treatment, it's prevention, it's giving those people access to the resources available.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ndungu. Thank you also for our scholars, John Githinji, Susan Nyaga, and thank you to our viewers for even having time to sit down there and listening to what has been happening. And because we don't have a lot of time, I will just ask in a second's time, just give us your last word, just with the seconds.
Right, viewers and listeners, in Fulbright Theological Seminary, we feel that we are at the right place. This is a fountain of knowledge, very good source of knowledge. We all ask you, as viewers and listeners, try and come and join us. There are different levels of education are offered here. There is certificate level, bachelor level, master's level, and doctorate level. Again, you are very much welcome.
Thank you. Susan?
Yeah, with all that being said, I'm just saying that I'm so excited and happy to be part of FBTS, and I'm telling my viewers, welcome, and let us move in this train together.
Our doctor.
Thank you so much, moderator and the team, for this program, which is very helpful to us and to those who are listening to us. I would like to say that the problem of drug abuse can affect anybody. So the knowledge that the students acquire here, if parents would acquire the same, they would know why the youth and the teens do drugs. They will know what to look for. They will know the resources available just in case you are affected. And so it is my call that even if you're not coming to get this education to be employed, it will be a benefit to you and your family, because anybody can be affected by this problem. And with the knowledge that is being offered here, it can save a situation, it can save our children. We don't need to be spectators, we need to be involved in the problems that the society is facing today. So thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for listening, and thank you, moderator. Thank you so much, team.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you so much. We can't thank you enough. And for you sitting there listening and even putting down some notes. And please don't hesitate to come to us through the numbers at the bottom of your screen. Contact us, talk to us, email us, call us. You just heard from the Chancellor. From the Vice Chancellor's numbers, it's right there, the email, the Dean, Dr. Waidaka. Please don't hesitate, FBTS. We love you listening to us. And with this, we come to the end of our 7th episode of FBTS Consultative Forum. We want to tell you that we will be talking to you again on Saturday next week, same place, same channel. Be safe and take care, and God bless.
You are watching Pacific Waves Television, USA, a place of nourishment.